Bad.
Hey, hey, hey.
Yo. My bad, y'all. I lost track of what's up, Vicky? Dario, what's
Hey, how you doing this morning?
up? Good. Hey,
And we had to
Tori.
bring Victoria back for week 2. Like we had such a good discussion.
Great. That's great. You know, it's always good to like be surprised. I'm like, I thought I was going crazy. I was like, why did we do this last week? Shoot.
Malik is enjoying this early lunch, so
Oh, okay. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Like I already done checked in. Check in, y'all. Check in. Check in. What's up? Good to see everybody. I'm straight out. I'll be out of Facebook jail in about 2 hours toward this. I think it's so funny. Anyway, so I'm just glad to be on social media again. You know what I'm saying? You know, you just trying to appreciate. How's y'all week been going?
it's just been going. It feel like it's been the longest week, but it's been great. It
It's
feel
been the
long.
longest year in the week.
Long, yes. It just feels real long. It just where is December at? That's
Hey, Rhea checking in. Travis, how your week going?
That's going fine. You right. It seems like it's a long week, but it also seems like it's been a long school year. They've been in school for like a month and a half. It seems like you've been in school all year. You know what I'm saying? It's like every day is something like, oh man.
Man, not just that, but I was thinking about this morning, like, you're right. Like, they've been in school probably a little over 45 days. And I meant to go back and count. But some kids been in class only like 5 days, 10 days because they be in quarantine and nobody's talking about that, right? Nobody's even talking about the fact that a lot of these kids are missing school.
Mm-hmm.
That's scary.
It is.
That's really scary. Hey, Scotty, what's going on? Y'all like and share. Get everybody on in here, man. We got some stuff we need to talk about.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. And just to those who are just logging in, Access Denied was created so that parents and grandparents have their own platform. We got our own movement. We got our own platform to talk about the things that we care about the most. We want to talk about the things that keep us awake at night. And we don't want nobody censoring us or filtering us. Like, we're going to tell the ugly truth about what's going on in our children's education. So that's why this show was created. And so welcome everybody under the sound of my voice. I hope that your week is going well. So what we're going to talk about today, we're going to talk about the school level TCAP scores came out last Friday. Chalkbeat wrote about it. And let me tell you, they were the only ones that said anything. Nobody said a mumbling word. Also, just talk about, like, what are we hearing from parents, and Torvis is kind of touch base on that. Then we got our cohort 10, who this morning, highlighting them, and then talking about the promising scholars summer school results with 10 questions and a 30-minute test that they gave the students. So that's what's going on in the landscape of education. Of course, they still talking about them damn masks. So and the thing is, man, I don't care if they have a mask on, which, I'm a believer in safety. You still got to educate children. So what you gonna do about that? But anyway, let's talk about these top beat these scores that talked about these TCAP. There was one school that came off of the priority school list. Not Victoria, I don't know if you're aware, it was Rosebanks. It was the only school that came
Was
off.
yeah,
Yeah, it's the only one. And so last night at the school board meeting, they highlighted Rosebanks for coming out the priority school list. So I think we were talking about this morning, Torvis. I want you to jump in here because I can talk about that all day. Then I'm gonna get pissed off, fire mad, and I ain't gonna shut up. So Torvis, like bring everybody up to speed about that, man.
So what is the I guess what is the criteria? What's the qualifications to come off a priority school list? Because if I'm looking at the schools and schools are the same or even worse, what do you come off the list for? So I mean, I don't understand how did they come off the what was the qualifications? What made them come off his list?
Look, that's the accountability protocol they wrote. It's based on TVOS and growth. And I think you asked a very real question, like, what does it mean to grow? And we got to think about, is the growth meaningful? So it looks like with Rosebank in reading, they were at 15.3% proficient, 15.3% proficient in 2019, and in 2021 they had the 2.3% decrease, and they only had 13% proficient. Now, those scores were not counted if they weren't counted for 2021, but 15.3%. You know, what do we even have any high expectations for children?
No.
Like, no. I mean, talk about that, Victoria. Like a 15.3%, you know, of the children in that school reading on grade level. Why isn't anybody upset about that?
I feel that I'm upset, and my child don't even go there. It's just like when you tell somebody that and you look at that percentage is so low. So it means you have low expectation for children, which means these kids is walking into their school building knowing you do not care. You give me the lowest expectation. I have the most highest expectations for Malik. Whether they know it or not, you hold that high. Like, why would you want to teach someone and then you can care less if they can read?
Yeah, I think what I hear you saying is, what is there to celebrate?
Yeah,
right.
Now, that's how parents just say, "Look at this face." They looking like, what they mean?
Yeah.
I mean, just thinking about it, I'm gonna give the parents a real visual on it. Youth sports are going on. If you got 5 junior pro teams with 20 kids on each team out on the football field, and we talking about 15, that's 100 kids. You got 15 of those kids. That's 3 on each team that's reading on proficient. 3 on each team. If you got 5 teams of 20, it's 3 on each team.
That's not a lot.
That's a whole lot of kids out there that just don't know.
They don't know. So it's just like a handful of kids.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna start calling out some of these scores. You got other schools here in the district. I'm just gonna pull up some of these. I'm pulling it up. I'm going through this list, so bear with me. But I want some of the parents to type in the name of their schools so I can tell you the scores. And we want to share this link with people. Like, this ain't no, you know what I'm saying? This is not a secret. This is something that you guys really need to have access to. And shout out to Chalkbeat for writing this story and keeping this in the forefront of us all, because ain't nobody talking about it, right? Like at all. Like, they're not talking about this. Like, they celebrating, having parties, and have low expectations.
That's how it's been the whole pandemic.
But what about before the pandemic?
It was like that too.
So what has changed?
Nothing.
Nothing.
And the kids is not like, what is change? Like, we just walking in there, trying to do our best. I done woke up early, come to school, ready.
I think the only thing that's changed is
Now,
about the amount of money. Because before the pandemic, we don't have money, but now you got money. So really, the only thing that's changed is really the amount of money that you have,
right?
and you have more data now. And we always ask, what you doing with this data? Chuck, we got this whole list on there of what's going on. I share it with the parents. I said, okay, let's look at your child's school. Oh, 45% decrease. Okay, let's look at your child TCAP score. Let's look at your individual scores.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the schools is failing, the kids are failing, and nobody's really succeeding in all of this.
But
And I don't
everybody's
see the plan. Right, I don't see the plan of what we're gonna do about all of this.
Yeah, and one of the things I want to say is that kids are not failures.
No,
Children are not failures. They're being failed by the system. They're being failed. Alex Green literacy rate is 10.6% of the students are proficient. That's the current TCAP scores from the spring of 2021. I'm just gonna call off a few of them. Andrew Jackson Elementary, 40.3% of the students were proficient in literacy. Antioch High School in English 1, 7.4%. 7.4% of the children are proficient. English 2, 9.6%. They are going backwards.
yes,
Backwards.
7%.
Backwards. Antioch Middle School, 6.4% of the children were proficient. And in 2019, only 11.9%.
them scores make me want to cry.
Bellevue. Let's talk about Bellevue Middle School. Bellevue Middle School. In 2019, only 29.9% of the children were proficient in reading. And in 2021, only 19.5% of the students were proficient. Bellshire Elementary. In 2019, only 7.3% of the students were proficient in reading. And in 2021, 5.3% were proficient. Big picture. Let's see. Big picture. Big picture high school. 14.8% of the children were proficient in 2019. Only 12.8% were proficient in English 1. Let me go to another one. Somebody said they want to know about Nashville Classical. Okay, let me get to that one. Let's do Chadwell. In 2019, 28.4% of the children were proficient in reading, and 2021, only 8.3%. Charlotte Park, 10.4% were proficient in 2019, and only 15.5%. I'm gonna stop right there while I try to find out, and let's discuss that. Like, as a parent, as you're hearing this, elaborate a little bit more about how this makes you feel. Like, what is the expectation here? Like, if there's nothing else in the school, they should be.
I want to cry. I want to cry because some parents know about the cluster, of your child, and you go middle school, you tend to go to that. You go to elementary, you go to middle school, you go to the high school. Some parents tend to do the cluster, and parents was listening to that. They like, how did my child be in the part of the 15% in in elementary? Then he get to middle school, he fall within that 5%, and then when he get to high school, it's not.
You can't even measure it.
And you're really trying to figure out, like, what percent do my child fall in, and what is happening?
And what's the definition of this on proficient? They be always talking about they're proficient according to their peers. What peers are we talking about? I mean, how is it the A's, B's, C's, D's? What is being proficient on? Because to me, you can be proficient on nothing.
This test is measured among
whole
a
Tennessee,
national.
right?
It's a national. There's a pool, like there's a state test, and then they do like compare a pool, not the whole state, but a pool of students. I believe that there is chosen randomly. They compare that to a national test also, which gives you kind of like your Tennessee number, right? The amount of children who are proficient in the state of Tennessee. Let me read out some of these other ones. Goodlettsville Elementary School in 2019. That only so I'm gonna say this, and Candace want to know about DuPont Hatley. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say only because this is not a problem that just started with COVID. We can't blame on COVID. We cannot blame on COVID. Put a word in there if you want to. Unscramble that. Goodlettsville Elementary, only 27% before COVID in 2019 were proficient. And then after COVID, 14.2. Ain't no difference to me.
Nope.
Goodlettsville Middle. So they go from the elementary to the middle school. Goodlettsville Elementary in 2019, only 12.1%. That means the children declined when they went from elementary to the middle school. Mm-hmm. And then in 2021 in the middle school, only 6.7% of the students were proficient. Let's see, I'm trying to pull up some of these schools. East High. I'm gonna start with the middle school. East Middle School reading. They were 14% of the children were proficient in 2019, and in 2021, only 5.6% were proficient.
After 0.6, that'd be an NA. Because remember, the NA means if below 5%,
right?
Won't even show it.
Wow.
You don't pass the NA.
It's sad. And nobody's saying a mumbling word. Folk having celebrations. Folk putting stuff on their billboards outside their schools. Right. Like tripping. Like, and I'm not trying to be like a Debbie Downer, right?
Right.
Truth sets you free.
Right.
The truth helps, it pushes you to get better. And folk don't want to get better. Let me see. Somebody asked about, I think we did East, right? East High School. East High School, only 11.9% of the students who took English 1 were proficient in 2019. And in 2021, only 6.9%.
So then, something I also was looking at it last night. Then I started looking, I said, let me look at Hume Fall. Let's see what happened to them. And I looked at their.
They didn't stop. They didn't stop when they stopped trying to stop everybody else. I had a parent. Oh, let me tell this, Torvis. I had a parent who is a huge Save Public Education. Her name is Lynn Franklin Hope. Yep, Lynn, I'm saying your name. I'm in these streets. That's what we do in these streets. Yep. I snitch. So she has a daughter that goes to Hume Fall. And she was and they had stopped remote learning in March 2020. And the narrative was everybody's going to Channel 8, all that stuff. Y'all remember? PBS, Channel 8. And so I was on Facebook and I was like, but the kids at Hume Fall, they still on the Zoom, taking their AP literature and everything. That's when everybody, folks didn't have no computers, but they had one. And she was like, no, they not. And I'm like, yes, they are. I'm sitting here listening to it. I was listening to, they didn't know. See, when I say something, let me tell y'all something. When I say something, I know my stuff and I'm gonna back it up with receipts. I might not bring it right away, but if I tell you something, I know it. That's why I'm so confident in saying it. So I'm listening to a child getting the Zoom class, her AP class, getting ready for the AP test. You hear me? I'm listening. And she said, no, they're not. Damn lie. I'm listening to it.
Right.
Go ahead, Torb. I just had to bring them receipts. That's how folks got to do me, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I look at like English and stuff. Some of the stuff they went up in, and I'm like, okay, they're going up. The same time frame, they went up. They took a hit in math, but I mean, but their percentages from their proficiency from the get go. I mean, I'm looking at 2019 in say English 2, 88.5. Now they're 88.3. Look at their proficiency rate. It's already up at 88. It's not starting down here in the teens and dropping to the single digits. You know what I'm saying?
First of all, what's it doing? Look, anything under, if you ain't got 50% of your students in your school at least, it's not going well. We have not taught, I ain't gonna say we, because parents ain't got no business teaching children how to read in the first place. It's impossible when a teacher don't even know how. Okay, so let me stop there. Let me clear my throat. I don't know what rap music, rap song that was back from the 80s. Let me clear my throat. Yeah. Hey, look, let me clear my throat and say this. If we have students, if we have a district, if we have a state, then less than 50% of the students are reading up. Let's not even say on grade level. We should be pushing the envelope for them to read above grade level. Let's have high expectations. Let's shoot for the stars. And we don't, because folk too poor, they too black, they backpacks smell like weed. If mama ain't dad ain't, that's the excuse. And we ain't got no money. It was some cartoon that I used to watch, Torb, you might know when I was little, and the people was pouring and they drugged their butt on the ground because they was supposed to have to stack on that stick. I'm so tired of people crying poor in school districts. I don't know what to do. Every time they say that, my mind go to them. They pants pulled down, dragging on the ground with a stick, with a bag at the end of it. That's what I think about it.
You're right. And like I say, even when I was growing up, we coming up, we didn't have a lot of money. I mean, hell, we lived the whole year without lights. But guess what we had? My mama had, we had bunk beds.
Y'all was poor.
We were poor, and we had, my dad had money, he just stingy. But I'm sitting there saying, we had no light, and he would take the car battery out the car and plug it up to the light switch so we have light. And we had a school desk in our room. I just remember a bunk bed and a school desk. And then every day you'd take your school clothes off and sit in the school desk. You know what I'm saying? You only have so much daylight to get it done. And I'm like, my mom was strategic. My mom made sure that we had this going because she would go to the school. She would show up at the school and she wanted to make sure that she did everything she could. Now, we got parents out here doing everything they can, but you cannot hit a moving target. We don't know what the target, you know what I'm saying? There's always something changing. Now, all week I've been hearing about security at these schools. So the parents are not getting the information they need. The parents don't feel they're not secure. If they don't feel that the information they're getting, their TCAP scores, their tests, their homework, whatever they're getting is not sufficient enough. So you're at a week's end as a parent, like, what do? My child is not going to learn time anymore because they're taking it out of the school because they can't learn it. You're just pulling stuff away. They can't write in cursive no more because they can't learn it. So, I mean, it's like you're dumbing them down.
Right.
And it's crazy.
Let me find some of these other schools on here. Y'all see in the comment, I want to make sure that I'm calling out these schools that the parents want to see. Somebody said Hattie Cotton is not listed on here. Oh, but let's talk about Rose Banks. Rose Banks.
Oh.
Rose Banks came off of the priority school list. In 2019, they only had 15.3% of the children reading proficient and 13% in 2021. Like you said, I don't know how that happened. I done tweeted, I done asked Dr. Swin. Yeah, they need to call me. I need to understand what is really going on. Ruby Majors Elementary, 2019, 31.9%. 34.1% proficient in reading, and then in 2021 2021, 28.9%. Let me see.
Ooh. The big school in McGavick High.
Baby, some of these stuff ain't even listed, like Torva said, because it's so low. Not like if it's under 5%, they don't list it, because if it's under 5%, under 5, you can practically walk into school and tell who proficient and who not. Like,
Right.
because the number is so low, and so they don't put it up here. And
Are we working towards
if you don't see
proficiency?
your school, if you don't see your school, that's why.
And then parents is looking at, they went to certain schools. Like, I went to this school years ago.
Baby, and it still ain't doing right.
And you still ain't teaching nobody. I told my mama you weren't teaching me.
Let me see. Classical. Somebody wanted classical. We staying on this because y'all interested in this. So this for the parents. We finna stay on this. Let me find classical. Nashville.
Yeah, senior school parents, senior school, senior niece school.
Yeah, put it in the chat. We looking. Oh, I just saw it. Nashville Classical reading. 2019, 49.2%. Damn, they was real close to 50%. Oh, that made me cuss. And then in 2021, they dropped to 34.6%. What's another school? Hadley. DuPont Hadley.
Got that one. And I'm writing this down. Parents, write this down. Parents, write this down and look at it. Because when you put it on paper, it makes you cry.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
When I get a that ain't nothing.
It's terrible. Okay, DuPont Hadley. Do we want to look at the middle? DuPont.
Middle.
Okay, DuPont. I'll do DuPont Elementary.
Okay.
DuPont Elementary in reading. In 2019, they were 28.1% proficient. And then in 2020, they were 20.6% proficient. DuPont Tyler Middle in 2019, 15.2% proficient in reading. And in 2021, 7.1% proficient in reading. DuPont Hadley Middle School in 2019, 27.2% proficient in reading, and 2021 they were 14.8% proficient in reading. Anybody want to know anything else? So Candace, I just gave you Hadley and elementary. I hope that helped you. I saw her face, the face on here. And I gave in Kendall, I just gave the middle. Somebody says, what were Rosebank's numbers? I gave those already.
Republic High School.
Republic High School. I sent them an email earlier.
That's where my lovely nephew go and my niece.
That's where my son goes. And I sent them a nice little email earlier. Real nice. Real sweet. As a matter of fact, they sent me a message in Spanish the other day, and I got in my car, turned off my Zoom, drove my tail down there, and banged on the door and asked what the hell was going on in there. I sure did. I don't play with folks. Don't be laughing. I'm not.
You going up there acting like me?
They said, "Ma'am, this is the back door." I said, "I don't care."
You going up there acting like me?
I don't care nothing about. I said, well, excuse me, that this is the back door. But all I know is I got a message. It was in Spanish, and I don't speak any Spanish. I said, so I want to make sure mine was okay.
Yeah, habla poquito no español.
I know a little bit of Spanish, but the call, when you get a call from the school in the middle of the day, like, that you don't never really get, You know, that put my spidey senses up. So I shut down my Zoom in the middle of my meeting. I got in my car, didn't even have on all my underclothes right. Went down there and I banged on that door. I rang that doorbell and I formally introduced myself. How y'all doing? What's going on up in there?
Was it? That's Republic. That's where the kids was walking out, right?
Uh-huh. We're gonna find out a little bit more about that before we really talk about that. I don't know a lot about it. I want to make sure that we got all the facts. So Republic High School, English 1 in 2019, 22.2% of the kids were proficient, and in 2021, 22.1% were proficient. In English 2, 22.9% were proficient, and in English, that's 2019, and in 2021, 20.2. So let me go to, let's compare another high school. Name another high school. Here's White's Creek. They ain't got nothing listed because that means there ain't nobody proficient.
Nobody.
They got English 2.
We got a comment.
English 2, 2019, 7.7% proficient in English 2, and in 2021, 11.4. So they went up, but nobody, baby. Okay, Stratford.
Yvonne had a comment that said, "Now can we break it down by the zip
codes?
That would be interesting."
Oh, okay. So right now, let's go to zip code. Let's go to zip code. 37218. That was White's Creek.
Yeah.
All right. So somebody said Stratford. English 1. 10.7% of the kids in 2019 were proficient in English 1. They done went to school. All this. See, it's a crime to go to school for 12 years and leave there reading on the second and a sixth grade reading level. That's a crime. You have the right to remain silent. This is a citizen's arrest to the school system. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say and anything that you are producing is going to be held against you in the parent court of law. I made that up. Yeah. But that's what we're going to have to do.
We need to get you a gavel.
Write that one down.
Stratford STEM Magnet. Stratford STEM Magnet School. 10.7% of the students are proficient in reading, in English. And that's when I say reading, English. 2021, only 9.6. Let's go on down the street where we want to go. Let's go up in here to Hunter's Lane. Let's see what you're talking about, Sue. Let's go to McGavick. Let me stop in McGavick. Can I stop over there?
Go on over there.
Let me stop out there. McGavick Elementary. Let's start at the elementary school.
Let's do that.
22.9% of the students were proficient in 2019, and in 2021, 18.2%. Ain't good enough. McGavick High School in 2019, only 21.7% of the students were proficient in English 1, and in 2021, only 9.8% of the students. I want to stop right here 1 second. There's a difference between learning loss and never having it in the first place.
Yeah.
I could preach that. Just call me Reverend Sonia right now. I'm finna get into character. That is a difference.
Get off the zone.
there's a difference between learning loss and never having it. So when you lose something, that means you had it.
Yep.
That means you had it before.
Right.
So that's why I'm not taking nothing off of nobody. No excuses, no nothing. Learning loss is when you had something and you lose it.
Right.
These kids never had it.
Never.
Right.
Never.
Exactly right.
Never. That's Jaheim. Anybody, if I just need to communicate with you in music. Never. Never. Never.
You using your transverse learning today. You got all the songs coming out. They tell a story.
I'm touching every learning style. Every learning style.
But that's how she know that. That's how she reaching the parents. Teachers
Yep.
need to learn what catches they students, and that's the style we're gonna learn. Because every kid have a different learning style. That's
Yep.
why they should have had that LRP when we went to school. We should have had it.
So let's talk about Martin Luther King School. Let's go to junior high, English 1. 83.7% of the students were proficient over there. And that was in 2019. In 2021, 68.4% of the students were proficient. And that's the junior high. Let's go to the high school. Martin Luther the King. It says
Look at that.
junior school.
Yeah, because it's going by like the
And
math.
reading, it says reading 75.3% proficient, and then 67.8% in 2021. Let's see. I said I was going to Hunter's Lane. Oh, let me stop by Lockland. Lockland has 82.5% proficient in 2019 and 84.5% proficient. So they increased in 2021. Let's see. Let me stop over at John Overton. I'm gonna go cross town.
Go cross town.
Can I get in my car and drive cross town for a minute? Gas me up. Vroom, vroom. Here we go. John Overton, English 1, 19.1% were proficient in 2021, but in previous year, in 2019, 21.5 were proficient in English 1.
If I was funding, you funding education, you doing this thing, you put money in something. These are the numbers you get. I know them people got to be like, my money still.
Can I go over to 37208 to Jones Elementary?
Yeah, go right there.
Yeah.
Where our illustrious chairwoman of the school board said she's gonna make her child a project and put him over there. In 2019, they were 16.3% proficient in reading, and in 2021, 8.7. Hunted Lane. Here we go. Oh, Jesus. Hunted Lane.
Systematic problem.
English 1 in 2019, 12% of the children were proficient in English 1. And in 2021, 5.9. Let's go over to Inglewood. Can I drive the car? I'm gonna get on my scooter.
Yep.
I'm gonna get on my scooter. Can I get on my scooter?
Point nine.
We need to send this to all our family.
Come on now.
They working on they working on doing the NA, ain't they? They working on going down to the NA where the schools won't be showed. 5.9.
In biology, they don't have. There's a dash there in 2019, and then in 2021, 8.2. U.S. history, 6.5% of the children were proficient in 2019, and then 6.3 in 2021. I know we got a lot of parents interested in that about Hunter's Lane. Inglewood Elementary reading 2019, they 12.5%. I mean 12.7%. Let me get that right. I don't take away no points. 12.7% of the children were proficient in reading, and then in 2021, only 5.5. And the narrative from everybody is, and we said it, we knew it was going to be bad, but nobody is having a sense of urgency. Like, this is the kind of stuff folk want to sweep up under the carpet. Somebody said check Hillsborough. Let me get on my motorcycle, and I'm gonna run over here to Hillsborough and weave and bob through this traffic over this Green Hills traffic. Weave and bob and weave. Hold on to my helmet. Hillsborough, English 1, 26.4%. Gold boroughs were proficient in English 1, and 23.4% in 2021. In English 2, in 2019, 23.7% were proficient. And in English 2 in 2021, 33.2% were proficient.
And tell us what we and teachers need to do.
See?
Read that comment.
What's that?
This comment right here. About
we need a sit down with our kids in a comfortable environment that allows them to feel free to tell us what we and teachers need to do to help the educational growth. I love that. That's why we were calling for personalized learning plans.
Yes.
Because not every child is going to say the same thing.
These scores is making me feel like we should have did that, and my heart hurt.
Somebody wants to know about Valor. There's a story that I often tell from an educator that I met in Haywood County, who talked about a student who was not doing well in school. He was getting into a lot of trouble. And, they were really trying to help the student. And he said, finally, after several situations, he looked at the child and he said, man, like, what do you want us to do? Like, what do you need from us? Like, how can we help you? And the young man said that every day when he got out of school, there were these gang members who were like basically going to harm him if he didn't do certain things. He said, what you can do for me is to have somewhere safe for me to go after school so I can focus. Otherwise, I ain't gonna make it.
Yeah.
And what they did was they changed that situation for that young man. It changed his life. And right now, like Nashville is stripping the life out of our communities. There's nothing, it's the it city, and there's nothing in it for Black children. I can remember the days when we could go to the center, when we could play sports, we could do things like that and have a safe place.
Yes,
and it's not there anymore.
It's not. It used to be the funnest place. They used to run there.
I mean, you had the YMCAs that were started by Josh Rickerson, and it was free and for kids to go. But now a lot of people don't have the money to go to YMCA. It costs to go to YMCA. So and it discounted a lot of parents right there because they ain't got the money to buy food. They got the money to pay for no after school. I mean, with the money they have, it should be free now anyway. There's a lot of stuff that should be going on now. But I mean, if you really want to help somebody and really want to help the kids, you need to start listening to kids and find out what's going on with the kids in a lot of situations. But hey.
It's sad. We're in a sad situation. So somebody said Valor. Let's start with Valor. English 1, 62.7% of the children were proficient in 2019. And in 2021, 44.9%. In English 2, there's not a score here. 2019, it may be because I don't think they were in existence. But for 2021, 66.2% of the children were proficient. Valor Flagship Academy in reading, 65.9%. That may be the elementary. 65.3% were proficient. In 2021, 45.2 were proficient. Purpose prep. Let me drive back over to 37208. In 2019, 51.6% of the children were proficient in reading, and in 2021, 31.9% were proficient. Intrepid preparatory charter school English 1, 40.3% were proficient in 2019, and then in 2021 they dropped to 16.1%. In English 2, 46.8% were proficient in 2019, and in 2021, 27.6% were proficient.
Y'all remember? I know y'all remember this coming up. We used to play a game called I Declare War with the cards, and you would flip it over and you got the number of cards. So we're sitting there looking at this, and I take, say, the Valor 66. How many schools in math? We say it's math. How many schools will they take over here to add up to that 66? How many schools in 3728 would it add up to be this 66% they have? I mean, this is crazy. The numbers, the percentage of these things. Nobody ain't said a word. The parents, they not telling the parents. They're not sitting at home saying, "Are we really feeling your child?" They're not gonna say that. They're not gonna say that we working towards it. How long you'll work towards something? Like this pandemic going on almost 3 years now.
Man, come on, man. Look, I done read y'all the 2019 scores, and I done read your 2021. This been going on
forever.
This ain't new. This ain't no new stuff, man. And what's not new too is the approach to it. Right here, our commissioner, Penny Sweeney. I'm gonna have to talk with her about this. This was her quote. There has never been a more important time for families to engage in their students' education. Commissioner Sweeney, it ain't the families that's got the problem.
Shoreline, they need to take it out their mouth. Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth.
And I ain't gonna say nothing out there. What you say, Victoria?
That's the word. That was the word Sunday at church. Watch your mouth.
That's how I'm gonna get you, sucker. Watch your mouth.
What? You just gonna run up on parents like that?
Rhea said her son isn't old enough to take TCAP yet, and this terrifies her.
You better cry.
They started taking it at third grade. Yvonne, Rhea's son is they started taking it in third grade. I think he's second grade.
And you wonder why.
In third grade is when they decided would it be a prison.
You wonder why.
And you know, this I would say that these scores inform us of a whole lot, right? They inform us. They don't tell us everything. Hashtag watch your mouth. I love it. They don't tell us everything, but they tell us more than enough of what we need to know. And parents, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna take Penny Sweeney's quote, and I'm gonna make it our own. Run up in there, see what's going on in your child's school.
Right.
They want engagement. Give it to them.
You want to engage me?
Yeah.
Teach my child.
But I'm gonna tell you,
my child.
Don't engage me. I don't
teach
want
my child.
I don't want to engage.
That's how you engage me. Teach my child.
Give me the partnership. Don't engage me, because that's you taking your ideas and trying to put them on me, and your ideas ain't never work. So I ain't going for that.
I don't want no engagement either. I'm already married, so I don't need no engagement. I want a partnership.
My daddy
used to say, a partnership. Now it's a partnership.
My dad used to say, "Show me better than you can tell me."
Right. Don't be trying. Look. Don't be courting me and knowing good and well you don't want to marry me.
They want to dress that up. You want to dress that up like. Don't want no dress. Give me.
Hold on, y'all. I think somebody just walked up in my house in the middle of the day. Who in here? Wow, you seeing me? What's going on? He crawled on the
floor.
I said that. I was like, it's one of the babies.
Yes, he go. Look.
Hi, beautiful.
I should try to stay out of corner.
I said, I need somebody in this house.
She was trying not to be at the Zoom.
I've been here by myself and she done came down.
Tell her we talking about her.
I'm like, I
Tell her friends.
friends.
I thought the test scores don't snuck up on you.
Hey.
They say they coming.
What I be saying is I know somebody gonna want to run up on me. I don't even care. They gonna get this windmill.
Trying to get you. This is a good one. This right here. Schools are acting like Walmart, trying to get you as the shopper. Check yourself out. I guess we got to figure out how to be teachers too, since the schools are not doing their job. Sure do know what to say, because I am. I'm doing it.
Sure do know what to say.
You know what to say. I like that. I like that, Miss Burlington. We're gonna have to. I'm about to text her. Because I had to take it upon myself to teach my own kid. And then you read me my school test scores. Where my kid at on there? Where my kid at on there? How many other IEP kids is on there?
I don't think that they include the IEP.
Did you check them out?
I don't think they include. I need to check into that, but I don't think students with disabilities. I don't think they include that data.
But I got a question. Where is all this tutoring they offer? Is anybody getting tutoring?
Well, let's talk about that. Let's move into that conversation where they did some tutoring and then they revealed they gave 10 questions for a 30-minute test. And that pissed a whole lot of people off.
Probably some kids too.
So this is the thing. I like to unpack stuff even deeper. People are mad because it was 10 questions in 30 minutes. I won't know what the hell the questions were.
Yeah.
That's what's gonna tell you what's really going on. So we get focused on the wrong stuff.
Right.
10 questions for 30 minutes, baby. I want to know what the questions were.
What's the content? Right.
What was the content?
Send me the 10 questions.
Huh?
I said, send me the 10 questions and let me see.
We're trying to figure it out.
Hell, I didn't learn nothing in school. I probably can't answer me.
Because that would have been partnership. That would have been partnership. But if they were the partnership, that would have been engaging. That's how you engage me. Show me them 10 questions.
Yeah. You know, when you answer stuff, give it to me. Don't go around the world talking about what you can't do. Stop telling me what you can't do. Tell me what you can do.
You know what? I have yet to hear anybody in any school system tell me what they can do. All I've heard is we can't do this. We don't have this. And I'm like, well, what the hell can you do? Marnisha says literally been what the last year has been looking like for us. I've told her teachers, go back to that. I told her teachers.
I'm not a teacher.
I'm not her teacher. You are. I didn't go to school.
I didn't go to school. I didn't go to school for this, right? We didn't go to school for that.
Yeah,
when I went to school,
let me stop. Now, my person that's running the board over there, help a sister out. Don't be switching back and forth while I'm reading. Carson over there.
No, conspiracy is looking like what I was
Carson over there running my tech board. Look here, Carson, get your stuff together.
You look at you acting like it's a change in transition.
Carson, I need you to be on your job. You switch that right in the middle of me reading that.
We on that black on black.
Yeah, this has been a day. I'm glad that we got to read those scores out to the parents so that they could know it. The link is in the comments, guys. Yesterday, let's talk about what yesterday was. Yesterday was a National Voter Registration Day. And we kicked off a voter registration campaign. And so if you got a text message from us about registering to vote, then please register to vote. Voting, let me tell you about why voting is important. And by the way, we are nonpartisan. We do not push any political agendas or political parties. What we do know is that people are elected to make the decisions about our children. Sherry said it last night. We very best. into these buildings, and the expectation is those who make the decisions will make decisions based on what's best for all children and not for their political agendas. And you have a say-so in that. So make sure that you are registered to vote. You get your family members registered to vote. Send them our link and register to vote. We want to see how many parents we can get to register to vote. So if you are under the sound of my voice and you're not registered, go to our website, NashvillePropel.org.
Parents, so 18 to 25-year-old kids register to vote. They need to get started now.
That's right. So go to our website. And when you go to our website, right there, when you hit the little dots, it's got the MNPS report card, and it's got at the bottom register to vote. So register to vote. Send people to our website to register to vote. We want to shout out Miss Sherry Lucas Hall. She's on here. She might have popped off to go do a tutoring session. I think I saw her say that. She brought down the house last night talking about literacy and what it means to read. And it really connected with our parents. See, parents, once we get the knowledge and the understanding, and folks stop saying stuff over our head that they done made an acronym they done made up that don't mean the hell of beans. She said, I'm still here, y'all. See, when we bring it, I always call it eye level. So when I bring in these experts, I'm like, hey, bring it eye level to me. Bring it eye level to me. Don't talk over my head. That's true partnership. So shout out to Sherry for bringing down the house last night and talking to us about what it means to read and how we need our educators to be great at teaching. And we need to make sure that our educators are giving the development, the things they need before they come out of these colleges and universities to go into classrooms with our ability.
They need to add that today to your teaching degree. Add that because it's not on there.
Nope, it ain't on there. I ain't seen it. Because I've never seen it.
I looked it up. Because I wanted to Victoria. I looked it up.
I ain't never seen it.
Me either.
I ain't never seen it.
I got a couple of friends that told me.
Why are you looking for it? I know it ain't there. So
we know.
And shout out to the cohort 10 who's gonna win PAF graduates. Hey, they'll graduate this Saturday.
So funny.
Y'all didn't know. I need to learn how to teach me how to dug it out. Yeah. I got it a little bit. But on Saturday we graduate cohort 10. We're so proud of you. We're so proud of the work that you're going to be doing on behalf of Nashville's children. We look forward to building a revolution.
We got a movement going.
Yeah. Are you ready for a revolution? Woo, woo. Do you want a revolution? Woo, woo.
I'm gonna get Kurt Franklin with a.
Yeah. And look, I'm gonna bring one for Torvis. We ready. We ready. Yeah, we ready. So Saturday, y'all know where to be at. Y'all know what time to be there. We graduate cohort 10. Yes. And then we're going to bring in cohort 11. I think we got 27 parents ready so far. Yeah. We're building the whole movement over here.
We getting all the parents now. Let's get all of them.
Let's get all of them. We fired up, ready to go.
Also, we need to, we're getting the TCAP scores now for your school, but you also have a way to get your child scores. Call your schools and get your child's state ID number.
Okay.
Get the state ID number, and we have a website that you can go on and get it. You can reach out to me, reach out to Propel, and we can help you.
Thank you, Daddy Torvis. Thank you, Daddy Torvis. See, look at it. Yeah.
I'm starting some mess today.
You didn't talk about your daddy.
He said,
You finna get a text.
Sarah says, congratulations for all our work. Rhea says, congratulations, cohort 10 for winning. All right, y'all. It's time for us to shut this thing down in 1 minute. Any closing remarks from you guys before we go? We got 54 seconds to go.
I do. Hashtag watch your mouth. That's all I say. I hope the school system quote me. Come meet me at my house. Let's talk about it so I can tell you why you need to watch your mouth. What's that
Meet me
lady
at
name?
the trap.
What's her name? Sweeney. Meet me at my house.
She's a Sweeney.
Said, watch your mouth.
She
When
was
it comes to
serious.
our kids, watch your mouth.
Now, because it ain't our fault.
It ain't right.
Oh,
and,
it's a song.
guess what?
Mystical.
Anybody can get it.
It ain't my fault. Ain't it? That's just,
Ain't my fault.
embrace my black.
We're glad that you guys enjoyed today. No, thank you, Candace, for always being here. I look forward to eventually meeting you and your baby in person. Love you guys. We out.
Peace.
See y'all.